Hey there guys, Next Strike here, back again for another video, and wow, I did not expect to be talking about something like this, but man, all I have to say is wow, Warner Brothers, DC, you guys are just completely retarded. Like, seriously. So, to talk about briefly before I just go into full rant mode, David Goyer recently had an interview with IGN that released today on the internet. Well, I'm recording this on the 7th, and he was talking about, how about the cinematic universe of DC and all of this stuff, and he pretty much said we're in the early talks of the cinematic universe, and they don't even know like what they're going to be doing in the future and what they're going to be doing with Arrow and the Flash from the TV series Arrow, which is getting his own little spinoff, and I guess also Constantine, and who knows what else they're going to end up doing. So pretty much DC has no idea what they're doing, and that is beyond pathetic. Because they say it's just very, very early. It's too early for us to know. We've just had vague conversations about this. You've got to be kidding me. I mean, you've got Marvel, who, since, what was it, like 2007, 2008, something, Iron Man 1 comes out, and ever since then, they've had a plan, and they've got movies planned up until 2028. That is insane. I don't even know how they're going to do that, but hey, I know they're going to do it because it's Marvel, and they've proven for years that they can bring their A game. So they have everyone's trust, including mine, when it comes to the movies. DC, they have no idea what they're doing. So, I mean, just look at the past couple of years with DC. We've got the Dark Knight Trilogy, which everyone loved, okay? Some people might have problems with certain things, but overall, it was a wonderful trilogy, and Christopher Nolan, brilliant director. And DC did nothing with it. Now, they might have entered some sort of agreement where Christopher Nolan was saying, hey, this is my movie sort of franchise, and you guys are not going to do any crossover, blah, blah, blah. But it just feels like that was such just a lost opportunity because everyone loved that Batman. And to not use him for the Justice League is just criminal, honestly, because it doesn't seem like they know what they're doing with this new Batman either. I don't know. But at least from what I've heard, how they're hiring, Ben Affleck, who is about the same age as Batman was at the end of Rises, it seems like they're pretty much doing a be continued, but not really to be continued. So that really doesn't make any sense if this is a new Batman. A lot of things don't make sense. Now, of course, we don't know until the Man of Steel sequel comes out. I hope it's wonderful. But the point of this rant is they have no plans past the movie. I mean, they don't. Apparently, they're going to announce some, like, Justice League movie or something, but what's the point? If they really don't have a plan, they're just going to come out with one movie and be like, oh, well, that's it. I mean, they have to plan this stuff out. They cannot just be in the early talks and plan out this sort of cinematic universe. DC, I mean, well, it's really more of Warner Brothers' fault, I would say, but who knows? I'd say it's a variety of people's faults, but just how do you not have something planned out? Because the Dark Knight trilogy ended in, what was it, 2012, right? And then Man of Steel came out, and now from the Man of Steel to the sequel, there's going to be several years gap, and they've known for years that Marvel was making this cinematic universe that everyone was like in love with. And yet they didn't even think, oh, maybe we should make our own cinematic universe. Okay, yeah, Green Lantern flopped and you were counting on that. But so what? You could have kept going. You could have either A, used the Green Lantern, or B, planned to reboot him after a Justice League movie and get a better writer. I mean, that's really all you had to do. Everyone's going to love Green Lantern if he's done well. I mean, the movie made money. It just, word of mouth spread and people were like, oh, this movie sucks. I don't want to see it. I mean, that's what happened. Green Lantern is a cool character, though, and he would do very well. And that's with a lot of DC characters. There's so many of them that would do well. The Flash. Everyone loves The Flash. A lot of people love Green Arrow now from the Arrow show. I mean, Wonder Woman. Hello? Wonder Woman. People would go see Wonder Woman. Aquaman, he's become extremely popular. And the Teen Titans, does anyone know the cult following of the Teen Titans? Like, it's huge, especially after that cartoon in the early 2000s. I mean, I could go on and on. Everyone loves DC. Everyone. A lot of Marvel people would say, hey, I like the DC characters too. I mean, you don't have to pick sides. The whole elitist thing is stupid. But the point being is that DC just, they don't know what they're doing, and they're missing out on a huge opportunity, because if they just sit down and make a cohesive plan and have a few, creative directors and people that are going to be over all of this that are intelligent, it's really not that hard. So I just don't understand why this is such a hard concept. And, not every movie has to be a critical hit. I mean, it's nice that they're just going off of Man of Steel, even though I think the foundation of the universe should be a little more solid. Now, personally, I love Man of Steel, but I know about half and half. Some people loved it, some people hated it. So that is kind of a iffy thing to go off of. But if they take the sequel to kind of go over some of the things that people had problems with and then make a really good movie, kind of like what Captain America the Winter Soldier did, where it took what a lot of people didn't like about the first one, made people appreciate the first one more, and then made a really good sequel. So if they can do that, then they're in good shape. But again, not every movie in your universe has to be a knockout. I mean, look at Iron Man. Iron Man is the quintessential Marvel character of the cinematic universe, and only the first one's been good. I mean, the first one was fantastic. It's one of my favorite comic book movies ever. Iron Man 2, it was okay. Iron Man 3, awful. The movie was terrible, and yet so many people loved it. Only because the fan base of Marvel is just so big now, And that's really why, I think, because I just look at that movie and I'm like, man, how do people like this? It's so bad. I don't know. But anyway, not every Marvel movie has been top-notch. I mean, they haven't. I mean, aside from Iron Man 3, I think that's the only one that just flat-out sucked. Well, the Hulk movies. But, actually, the Incredible Hulk was pretty good, in my opinion. So that was part of the Marvel Universe. So I take that back. Only Iron Man 3. That's been really the only bad one. So it just proves the point that you don't have to make every one of them great, so long as you have an overall plan. Not just, hey, is this going to sell? And if it does, then we're going to do a trilogy. I mean, come on. What kind of plan is that? You're not going to make a Justice League movie that way. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they've got something going on behind the curtains at DC, but until they start releasing details and then they come out and say stuff like this, yeah, how are we supposed to back them up on that, really? You're pretty much just flat out saying, we have no idea what we're doing. So yeah, of course I'm not going to back you up on that. That's terrible. How could you not know what you're doing after all this time? And look, I get it. You might not want to use the TV stuff in your cinematic universe because continuity could be very, very, very complicated. Now, I think they could use Arrow because Arrow, I don't think it would be that hard because I think a lot of the characters Arrow uses aren't characters that the cinematic universe would use. And I don't think the Green Arrow would get his own movie necessarily. So I don't think that using Arrow would be that hard. Again, though, Arrow's so popular, it's going to have so many seasons, it could get tricky. But someone like The Flash, on the other hand, that could get a little trickier. So I could see that. Then again, having a Flash TV show and a Flash movie not tie in with each other would be kind of confusing for fans. So I don't know what they're going to end up doing. Me, personally, I know that they don't use a lot of the people like Bruce Timm on the animation side, or Scott Snyder on the comic book side, or Jeff Johns, or whatever. They don't really use those guys to make the movies. But if we're going for TV/movie stuff, why not use the guys that make Arrow? I mean, hello, everyone loves them. So why not just do that? Do something, DC. Just do something. We want a good cinematic universe. That's all we want. Just a good cinematic universe. Give us that, please. Please. We do not want this to flop. If this flops, then we're not going to see DC movies for a long time. And that would be bad. Anyway, that's all I had for now. Hope you guys enjoyed my little rant. Thumbs up if you like, subscribe if you like, comment below and let me know your thoughts on this just really, really stupid thing that came out today. And that's all I had for now. Catch you guys later.